Hi everyone, here we are at 7.2.5. The patch dropped about 2 hours ago and it is awesome. It might be a little too good. I'll go over that here in a minute. So let's just get right into the changes. The first change, which was a hotfix today that nobody saw coming, is the Dark Moon card now goes up to item level 900. So once you log in, if you have the card, it'll be 875 and you'll need to get 5 Oblivion to level up to 10 of 10. So it's now eye level 900. The armor goes from 970 to 2900. This is going to be the BIS physical reduction trinket still even inside TOS. This is a great trinket, and it's just because it's consistent. You're getting a consistent armor value for the entire fight. Now granted that value will vary between the fight, but you're still getting something all the time. Great trinket, highly recommend it. Let's look at the legendaries. There was 2 legendaries that was introduced this patch. First is the Rain Soul of the Slayer. This gives you, based on your spec, a talent from your tier. This gives us Fallout. So our tier 100 is, so it will give us Fallout, so you could take Fallout and Burning Alive. The problem is this will cost you a legendary slot, meaning that in most situations, if you don't take Burning Alive, you don't really notice a big deal. So this rain is sort of dead on arrival. You don't really want to sacrifice using maybe the Trinket and Pridus just to get Fallout. The only situation this might be useful is if you're running High Mythic Plus, and you need Burning Alive to stay alive, and then you need Fallout for the soul generation. And yeah, but even then, I don't think it's really worth wasting a legendary slot on. So this rain, unfortunately, is dead in arrival, or dead on arrival. Secondly is the Oblivion's Embrace. This is the new artifact pan, or legendary pants. First off, versatility and mastery are 2 best stats. That's great. And the bonuses, it gives you a stack or in charge of demon spikes and empower rewards. This is probably going to be one of the BIS legendaries. According to math that Monkey has done, Monkey, if you're not aware, runs the Fellhammer Discord, and he makes the Wellhead guides. He does all the theory crafting. Great guy. His information is in the comments below if you're interested. Anyways, so from his math, the uptime is an increased uptime on demon spikes by 6%. Per fight, so it's not too bad. And then you have Empower Rewards. The second charge of Empower Rewards will help a lot for survivability, also help keeping up siphon power from your artifact traits, which is huge for damage increase. So definitely a really good legendary. Now also keep in mind, if you take Demonic Infusion, it will recharge all 3 stacks instead of 2. So these 2 work well together. Next, let's talk about stats. The damage increase, like every ability we have, has had a damage increase by roughly 15%. So Shear, Soul Cleave, Abyssal Strike, everything had a damage increase. Just a flat 15% damage increase. I want to say everything has. I might be missing something, but yeah, I'm pretty sure every single ability had the damage increase. Fracture. Fracture has had his pain increase from 20 to 30. This is going to change the rotation, or one of the things that's going to change your rotation. I'll get to how you want to play this out, but keep in mind it is doing more damage, but it now costs 30 pain instead of 20. Soul Cleave has had the pain change as well. It's now between 20 pain and 50 pain. It was 30 and 60, now it's 25 and 50. The damage and healing has been increased. Just for a note, the healing has been increased to 785,000 with my current gear at 50 pain. Painbringer has been changed. So our artifact trait, Painbringer, where's it at? So every time you consume a soul, you gain damage reduction for by 3% for 4 seconds. This now works like Iron Fur, meaning that you consume a soul, you get a 4-second buff for a 3% DR. You wait 2 seconds, you consume another soul, and you now have a 6% DR for 2 seconds. After 2 seconds, the first stack of Painbringer falls off, and you're back down to 3% for the next 2 seconds. So each soul has its own timer, and it will fall off independently, so it doesn't refresh. It used to refresh prior to 7.2.5, but now it no longer refreshes. It works like Iron Fur. So that was a small nerf. Now Shear was just buffed as well. Supposedly, we don't have numbers, but there was a blue post saying Shear will now spawn soul fragments 10% more often. We don't know what the base percentage is. There was numbers from beta, those like 8, then 12 or 16, then 24%, it keeps going up, but we honestly don't know the percentage. But the percentage has been increased by 10%, whatever that is. DI was also buffed. So Demonic Infusion now has a 1.5 minute cooldown. It recharges all your stacks of Demon Spikes and gives you 60 pain. So if you're using the pants, it will give you 3 charges. If you're not using the pants, it will give you 2. And it will also cause you to have Demon Spikes as soon as you use it. So this was buffed. Fallout has been fixed. So prior to this patch, let me go over here. What would happen is you're capped at 5 soul fragments, but Fallout was bugged so that you could go over 5 if you pop Fallout. So let's go over here to these imps. Let me pop a soul carver, get up 5 fragments. You can see that here. So if I pop Fallout, normally in the past this would go up to 7 or 8, but now stays at 5. You cannot go over 5 anymore. So Fallout has been fixed. And I don't know if you saw it there, we now have, and my most favorite change this entire patch is called auto consume. If you have over 5 soul fragments and you spawn another one, you will consume any fragments that was over 5. So if you have 5, you pop a fracture, you spawn 2, you'll auto consume 2 and spawn 2 fresh ones. So the reason why Painbringer was nerfed, or one of the reasons, is that we're constantly auto-consuming shards. So let's do this one more time. So let me get 5 souls out here. So I'm going to pop Fallout, and what you're going to see is I'm going to consume anything over 5. You can tell by the Painbringer buff I'm going to get. So I'm going to pop it. So I just got, let's see here, 3 stacks of Painbringer. So I consumed 3 souls, and I'm back up to 5. So if I fracture now, that puts me up to 2 stacks of Painbringer. Oh, only give me 1. That's odd. Let's try one more time. Alright, there you go. So it gives me 2 stacks of Painbringer, and I have, well, I had 5 more souls out. So auto consume is huge. Which is one reason why fracture is borderline mandatory. Let's talk about Last Resort. So Last Resort was nerfed, and how this works is it will bring you back to life on death as long as the overkill damage is less than 2 times your max health. So let's round numbers down. So say if I have 6 million HP, if I get an overkill of 11.9 million damage, it will proc, I'll still be alive, and I'm good to go. Now, if it goes up to 12 million or 12 point something 1 million, so over 2 times my max health, it won't proc and you're dead. This is not a big deal in most situations. This was implemented to prevent people from cheesing mechanics and just solo eating stuff that they're not supposed to. So we're no longer able to solo eat stuff because you will just straight up die. Last Resort does not proc. The Demon Spikes was slightly nerfed, but 99% of you won't notice the difference. You can no longer have over 18 seconds worth of Demon Spikes. I don't know if I can even try to do that. Let's see that. Let me get some pain up here. So what I'm going to do is pop 2 Demon Spikes, and I'm going to pop Demonic Infusion. So Demon Spike, and as you see here, I can't get over 18 seconds regardless. This is not a big change because most people weren't stacking demon spikes like that, and you probably should not be stacking demon spikes like that. But if that is how you were playing, you can't get over 18 seconds worth of demon spikes anymore. Blade turning was changed. It was, prior to this patch, it was 70% increased pain on your next shear. It is now 20% pain generation for the next 5 seconds. And last time I checked on PTR, this did not include pain generation from damage, incoming damage. That might have been fixed. I haven't tested it, but as of PTR, you did not gain increased pain from taking damage. Tier 19, let's talk about Tier 19. So, Tier 19, the Soul Cleave mechanics of Tier 19 is now worthless. I'm going to show you why here in a minute. So, we are no longer using Soul Cleave hardly at all, just in certain circumstances I'm going to show you. So since we're hardly ever using Soul Cleave, the Tier 19 set bonuses are now worthless. Like, if we're not Soul Cleaving, we're not getting any benefits. So you can take it off, put on your highest eye level gear. Tier 20, let's look at Tier 20. Let me pop up the raid. Go to Tomb of Sargeras, loot. Let's go to chest piece. Alright, so two piece of our tier 20. The 2 piece gives us 5% damage reduction on any target near us. So a debuff will actually go on the enemies near us for 6 seconds, within 10 yards of us, by the way. For 6 seconds for every soul we consume. With auto consume and fracture and fallout, you should have 100% uptime. Well, really close to 100% uptime on this 2 piece. So this gives you, like, right off the bat, just a 5% damage reduction. So the 2 piece is amazing. Is boring, mind you, but it's amazing. It's a 5% DR. The 4 piece is, after using Soul Cleave, you gain 2000 versatility. The 4 piece is worthless, essentially. Again, we're hardly ever Soul Cleaving as of patch today. So if we're not Soul Cleaving, we're not getting the benefit. And we don't want to weave in a Soul Cleave every 8 seconds because we're wasting pain that we need for other things. And versatility is really not that big of a buff to be aiming for. Alright, so let's look at stat priority. Now, this is just me coming up with some stat priority. This may change. Monkey's still working on this, so as of right now, I'm going to say you should be aiming for Mastery first, Versatility second, Haste third, and Crit fourth. Now, it is probably better if you can balance out all 4 stats. You don't want to go like 45% in Crit and then 2% in Haste. That's going to feel bad. So it's better if you can balance your stats out. And I'll say around 20% haste is going to feel better for the rotation I'm about to show you. So I would say aim for haste about 16 to 20%. Is not necessary, but it does make the rotation feel better. But mastery first, haste, crit. If you are trying to scumbag damage, then obviously you probably want to go for a higher crit. Alright, so let's talk about the rotation. Let's talk about the talents within the rotation. So what I'm going to be using for most things is this. I'm going to use Abyssal Strike, Fallout, Flame Crash, Fracture. This sigil tier is depending what I'm doing. If I'm raiding, I'm going to use Concentrated. If I am doing Mythic Pluses, I'll use other Sigil Chains or Quicken Sigils. 108, Spirit Bomb is mandatory. And 110, you have an option between Demonic Infusion and Soul Barrier. Demonic Infusion is actually probably going to give you higher survivability. So this is what I'm probably going to be using most of the time. You would use Soul Barrier if a fight is a lot of magic damage, because obviously Demon Spikes is not going to do anything for you. So like if there's an Augur or a Croesus, you probably use Soul Barrier instead of Demonic Infusion. Tier 199, some math has to be done, and Monkey is also working on this. I did some practices on the dummies today, and Razor Spikes does not feel good right now for single target damage. I'm putting out more damage with Abyssal Strike than I am with Razor Spikes. And it's because of the Fracture pain nerf, so 30 pain. So if I pull pain to 100 DS for Razor Spikes, I only get 2 fractures in before I have to get 10 more pain to get a third. It was so good before because prior to this patch you would get 4 fractures in. And this patch is going to be us revolving around these soul fragments. So we want a fracture to get these soul fragments out, and then we want to use the soul fragments for Spirit Bomb. Spirit Bomb is going to be most of your damage. It's insane how good this is. So let's go ahead and look at the rotation. The opener has not changed, but I'll go over it once again. Let's go over here to this dummy. When you want to leap in, open up with Fiery Brand. This opens up your Fiery Demise window. And then you're going to do a Immolation Aura, then a Soul Carver, and then you're going to start building pain with Shear. When you get 5 souls, you're going to Spirit Bomb, and then you should have enough pain to open up a Fracture to get more souls. Just Spirit Bomb again, and if you do this right, it is possible to get 3 Spirit Bombs into the Fiery Demise window. If you run the Fiery Demise Relic, you should have a 70% increased damage during this window, and Spirit Bomb is actually huge. And there's one change I do want to point out, I forgot to mention it. Spirit Bomb will now consume all souls, so instead of wasting them, you consume them, so you get Pain Brainer, you get a chance to pop Fueled by Pain, and anything else that benefits you, the healing from it, and then you explode around you. So it's no longer a target. So Spirit Bomb prior to this patch, you could shoot your Spirit Bombs away from you to pull stuff. That doesn't work. Spirit Bomb now explodes around you. So keep that in mind when you're trying to use this properly. But right now, Spirit Bomb does 300% increased damage per soul. It's massive. Like, I'm going to show you here 25 to 30% of all your damage is Spirit Bomb. So I'm going to jump in, Fiery Brand, Immolation Aura, Soul Carver, start doing Shear for pain. Once my souls are at 5, I Spirit Bomb, and then I want to start fracturing, get 5 more souls of Spirit Bomb, and we're going to do that. So let me show you. So get up here, jump in, Fiery Brand, Immolation, Soul Carver, and start building up. Once you get 5 souls, you want to Spirit Bomb. Then you want to fracture off more souls. Then we're going to Spirit Bomb again. Throw in jumps and Immolation. Get 5 more souls. And then you want to go ahead and Spirit Bomb again. And then at this point, it's all about keeping everything on cooldown. And getting these souls to 4 to use another Spirit Bomb. And that's the entire rotation. Keep everything on cooldown. And Spirit Bomb at 5 souls. So I was doing this on the dummy for quite a bit. Oh, also you want to save, I'll go over this in a minute, you want to save Soul Carver now for Fiery Brand, because the more Spirit Bombs you get in that Fiery Demise window, more damage you're going to do. So Fiery Brands come back off cooldown in a second. So I'm going to get 5 souls out, I'm going to Fiery Brand, going to Spirit Bomb, going to Soul Carver, then when I get 5 more, I'm going to Spirit Bomb again. Then I'm going to start pulling out more souls. Immolation Aura. At 5, I'm going to Spirit Brand again. Or Spirit Bomb, sorry. And that's it. So right now, I was doing a consistent 700k DPS for that a minute and a, minute and a half-ish. So 700k single target damage without, mind you, I'm not using the belt, so those numbers are not inflated. I did not use my trinket once, and I was kind of lazy with my jumps and my sigils because I was talking, I wasn't focusing on it. No potions, no consumables, no bloodlust. 700k consistent damage, or broken. I am predicting there will be a nerf this week, and if there is, I'll make another quick video with the updated values. So a couple little tidbits here. Is you are now saving Soul Carver for a Fiery Brand. You're no longer using it on cooldown because you want to use Spirit Bomb in the Fiery Demise window. So you just save it because you'll get more damage that way. If you decide to use Soul Barrier, how you will want to do that, let me go back to the dummy, is pop this on. So say you get 5 souls out here. So if you want to use Soul Barrier, what you want to do, let me get my souls, is you want to Spirit Bomb first, then Soul Barrier. And then everything you bring in at this point is just more shield to your Soul Barrier. So Spirit Bomb, then Soul Barrier. If you are desperately, I can't switch back right now. I'll give it a minute. If you need a big heal, so say I'm almost dead. So let me get my fragments out here again. So if you're almost dead, how you want to get the biggest heal out of this is you want to open up with a Spirit Bomb followed by a Soul Cleave. Because Spirit Bomb will consume all the souls, so it doesn't matter if you consume them with Soul Cleave or Spirit Bomb, it's irrelevant. So if you consume all your souls with Spirit Bomb, you get the Spirit Bomb damage. Alright, so Spirit Bomb puts Frailty debuff on the target, which gives you 20% leech. So you hit for 1,000,000 with Spirit Bomb. And then you'll heal back 20% of that. So it's 200k, and then you have Charred Ward Blades, which will give you another 15% because Spirit Bomb is fire damage. So you just heal for 35% of the Spirit Bomb damage, and then on top of that, Soul Coverage has healed you for another 785,000, plus 20% from Frailty. So if you need big heals, you do Spirit Bomb followed by a Soul Cleave, and you can just boost your HP way up. I would not recommend using Soul Cleave at any other time. Just if you're about ready to die, Spirit Bomb and Soul Cleave. And you're double dipping, well, not really double dipping, but you're getting a big boost, a big heal. And that's really it. So the whole idea is you want to feed souls into Spirit Bomb. Just a little disclaimer, the rotation feels clunky. And that's because the time it takes for a soul to spawn versus when you can use it. Because you can see the spirit come off, but you can't use it until it hits the ground. So the rotation's a little weird. And the other bad part about the rotation is there's a small delay, like 0.5 seconds before you actually do damage. So let's get some souls out. Alright, so I have 5 souls. So if I pop Spirit Bomb, you suck them in, 0.5 second delay, then damage. So the build feels bad, but the numbers don't lie. The damage is insane. So that's the rotation. If anything changes, anything gets nerfed, I will come out with a short video to show you the changes and the adjustments you need to make. Otherwise, that's 7.2.5, guys. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Hit me up on Discord. Monkey's guys will be in the comments. Otherwise, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe. Thanks again.